Williams. I am the Director of Operations at a wedding on the Hudson, a beautiful historic wedding venue in Mechanicville, New York. And I have lots of great tips for you today on how to select the right venue and the right caterer and some things to ask and things to do along the way. First tip I can give you is before you do anything else, make sure you know your budget. Get your friends and family together, get all your resources lined up, and know exactly what that top dollar is. The problem that comes when you don't do that is that now we're looking at venues that we can't afford, we're looking at wedding professionals we can't afford, we're looking at caterers we can't afford. All that does is set you up for a heartache and disaster later on. So now we're playing catch up and trying to find the money to get to the dream. And when you can't afford it, then on your wedding day, all you're thinking about is that venue you couldn't get to because you didn't have the money to do it. So number one, know your budget before you do anything else. Make sure you realize that the majority of that budget needs to go to food and beverage. If you have 200 people, don't think you're going to feed them for $300. It drives venues crazy when you've decided you're going to spend $15,000 just on a venue, and then you come back to the caterer and say, well, I've got $3,000, feed all of my guests. It's not going to happen. Make sure you allot the right amount of money to food and beverage. And keep in mind also that that beverage portion is going to be a huge percentage of your per person price. So don't then go back to your caterers and get angry when you're worried about price and you've added top shelf open bar. So keep the budget in mind always. Before you start to look for a venue or a caterer, have the idea of the feeling that you want for your wedding. So if I want a rustic, laid-back wedding, I'm not going to go to a formal ballroom. So make sure you know that going in. Same thing with the menu. If you want a really formal wedding, we're not going to go contact barbecue caterers that cook from a smoker from the back of their truck. Always keep every decision in line with the overall feeling that you want for your event. The next thing is keep your idea of rentals and what's going to be included in the back of your mind at all times when you're looking at venues. So you could go to a venue and say, great, oh my gosh, okay, they're in my budget. I have a caterer that I love that's going to be able to fit within my budget really closely, but then you haven't asked the question of what's actually going to be included on this property. As soon as you start to add in rentals, the tables, the chairs, the plates, the bathrooms, the dance floors, everything else, you would be shocked at how fast your budget gets sucked up. And that's going to take money away from all the other really important things like your photographer and the entertainment, which is super duper duper important to your guests throughout the night. Don't spend money on things that people aren't going to remember. So favors are great. They're fantastic. But I can tell you, as someone who has managed properties for a very long time, they never leave the building. Unless they are edible or able to be drank after the event is over, they stay there. The last thing that I want you to think about when you're looking at venues and caterers is, are these venues and these professional caterers listening to me? Everybody can sit with you and pretend to hear you, but are they really absorbing everything that you've said? If you hear no more than once or twice within the conversation, then you should know that that person is not appropriate for you because their vision is their vision and not yours. So, having said all that, good luck to you on your venue and caterer hunt, and hopefully I will see you soon.